Namaskar. Welcome to the example number 3D. In the example number 3, so far we discussed on the destiny, job prospects, and transfers and promotions. I was telling that also that native was interested in doing a business along with the partners, then finally entered into to loss. So that we are going to study, and what is the destiny is signifying for the business prospects, and which period supported for him to enter into the business and finally entered into the loss also. So we are going to study on in this example number 3D. Example 3D, business and loss. This is the birth chart of that male native. I have selected the event business all. Now let us examine the self-signification of all planets and give the respective colors for our easy analysis. And let us check the destiny and also periods. Now I am on the EPS page, planet colors and self-significations. Let us examine the planets, each planets and the significations. You can see for the favorable and unfavorable houses, similar to the job prospects, the houses are going to be the same for favorable and unfavorable, but only thing is that A, B, C, that grouping will be different, because for the business, 7th house is going to come under the favorable. 6 also will be favorable only, but instead of A, it has been given into B, because job 6 is more favorable than the business. And because though 6th house is favorable for the business prospects before the earning, when 6th is connected to the 8th house and 12th house, that can give trouble to the 7th house by way of loss or dates. That we have to keep it in mind. 7 should not get connected to the 6th house, and 8 and 12 grouping can lead to the loss, or trouble on account of the 7th house, that is own business. So 7, 10, 11 are given under the favorable A, and 1, 2, 4, 6 are B, and supportive is 3rd house. 3rd house is going to be, of course, it is going to be very good for the business prospect, because 3rd house is for the service and all, but it has been given as supportive. And 8th house is worst, that is obstacle causing. And 12th house also it is given under D3, because when business we are concerned, then 12th house is going to give a loss or investment also 12th house, but when it is connected to 8th house, it can give change of color. So grouping only is important, though 12 is given under D3 and 11 is given under A, but grouping is important. Unless and otherwise other unfavorable grouping are present, that 12 alone will not be unfavorable. Similarly, 11 alone will not be strongly favorable. Anyway, let us check the self-signification of each planet and give the respective colors. So Ketu is 4 and 4 is supportive, we can give green color. And Venus 2, 7, 6, because 7th Lord is good key planet occupying 6th house is supporting, 5 one is indicating some weakness, but 7th sublord is good. Definitely Ketu we can give light green. And Sun planet is 5th Lord occupying 4th house and Lagna star Lord. It is, though 5th house is not good, but 5 is supportive for the partnership business, and it is not supported by any 8 and 12. Supportive for 4 and 11. So it is, 4 and 1 is supportive. So Sun is also, we can give light green. But can see that because of the 5th house matters, because of the joint venture, we can take 5th house is supportive. Otherwise, that Sun also can give trouble, that we have to keep it in mind. And Moon 4, 5, 10, and 11 is favorable. 4th Lord, because it is talking about the consumable products, selling of the products, and Moon supportive for the product connected to the 4th house, eatable products. The native entered into the business in the bakery. So it is supportive, occupying 5th house, but 10 star lord and Lagna sublord is good. So Moon is also green. And Mars is 1, 8, 4, 2, 6, 6, 11, and 12. It is supportive, but it is to be very carefully studied, because 8th Lord also and 6 and 12 cuspal sublord. Lagna This 8, 6, 12 grouping is not good. Lagna will face some sort of struggles and troubles on account of this, because 6 and 12 is also supportive for loss, and 8, 6, 12 supportive for some loss or dates. So Mars definitely is going to be mixed one, favorable along with that unfavorable. Rahu 10, 11, 5, 2 and 5, it is also mixed one. That already we discussed. Rahu for the during the job prospects destiny we discussed. Rahu also mixed one. And Jupiter, 9th lord, 12th lord and 6th, it is also mixed one. And Moon, Saturn is supportive, definitely 10, 11, 1, 3 and 9. Because of Rahu, we can, Saturn also we can give light green, because Saturn is always favorable. And Mercury planet is also very good, but 5, 8 and 12 grouping is there. It is not good for the business prospects, but this is good for the job prospects despite with some hurdles and struggles. But this is not good. We can give pink. It means it is also indicative mixed significations like Rahu and Jupiter and Mars. So that way we have given the colors for the business prospects. In short, we can say that we can also choose only the trouble-giving planets than the favorable, because except these, because Mars is having 8 to 8, 12 signification, 8, 6, 12 signification, Rahu having 5 and 8 with the favorable, and Jupiter 9 and 12, and Saturn is fine, and Mercury having 5, 8 and 12. So only these 4 planets are pink, all are green. So just to having taken only the unfavorable or mixed significators, remaining other planets not to give colors also we can work. That way also we can work according to your convenience. So now I am going to set the colors. Now let us go to the home page. So we are now on the home page. Now we have to check the destiny. So while we are studying the destiny in the first video, that is example number 3A. So wherein I was telling about the destiny on the business prospects also. Anyway, let me explain here again. The destiny planet is Mercury, 10 sublord itself having got some weakness, and just a minute. Mercury planet has got this 8 and 12, free planet as well. Star Lord Sun is fine, and 12 level is fine, and Sublord is Saturn is fine, but Rahu having got this one, and 12 levels, 4th level also Sun. So these houses are all supportive only, but Sun is getting the influence of the Rahu, because Sun is aspecting to Rahu, that already we discussed. Anyway, let me open the birth chart. Sun is aspecting to Rahu. Sun is getting the influence of the Rahu. Sun is getting the influence of Rahu. Sun is conjoined with the Mars. Mars is our mixed key planet, right? For example, when a planet is talking about 8 and 12, in case it is a job, it is going to give only obstacles or struggles to the Lagna. But when it is in case of business, when money is involved, definitely this 8 and 12, along with that 6, when it is joining, Lagna will face some sort of struggle and loss also, and stress and damage to the image. Everything can happen when Lagna is also connected. So we have to be very careful. So that Sun is having got the mixed Rahu also, and 5 and 8 cuspal sublord planet, and Mars also, and 8 and 12 significator. Moreover, you can see Sun is having got Rahu and Mars, which are having favorable 1, 4, 2, 6, 11, 10 and 11. That will give, will give some overconfidence to that planet, favorable signification to the planet Sun, star lord planet, for the betterment. Along with that, it has got the unfavorable grouping. So that we have to be very careful. Source is having 6, 8 and 12. Star lord is having 6, 8, 12 grouping in the support 5, 8, 12 also. 5th house, because 5, 8 and 6, 12 grouping. 6, 8, 12 grouping by Mars. So 5, 8 is by the Rahu, and 5, 6, 8 and 12 grouping by the Mars. And star lord of the star lord is Venus, is supportive, And that Venus is conjoined with the Jupiter we already studied, and that Venus also aspected by Saturn. That Saturn is favorable, but Saturn, representing Rahu having got weakness. So that way, Mercury is supportive for favorable signification along with that unfavorable signification. They are all present in the hidden way, but not directly. But Mercury itself having got weakness. It indicates what? The native will support for such thing from the favorable side, and also unfavorable also native will experience. Here the question will come. Tenth sublord is not having seventh house signification strongly. How come that it will support for the native for the business prospects? That itself is indicating it is not, the native is not supported by for doing own business. But moreover, you can see 10 sublord Mercury in the star of Sun is occupying fifth house. Sun in the star of Venus to seventh. The favorable key planet for the own business is Venus. Sun in the star of Venus. So that way, the Mercury planet in the star level fifth house, 12 level is 277, supportive for joint venture, but indirectly it is also supportive for some losses also. That means then sublord is not directly connected to the seventh house, but it is supported, the signifying fifth house supportive for the joint venture, since it is in the star of Venus signifying seventh house. But it is not supported by the seventh sublord planet. We have to check whether seventh sublord planet also supportive for the business, or it is indicating loss. Let us check the seventh sublord. Which is the seventh sublord? Seventh sublord is Venus. You check the seventh sublord Venus. Venus in the star of Mars. Seventh sublord is okay. Star Lord Mars supportive for Lagna, and also 8, 6, 12, it is not good. And Mars is aspecting to Rahu. The Rahu is 5, 8 signification already discussed. 2A level, sublord planet are all supportive. They are all supportive only. But these planets also under they are not talking about any favorable strong significators, but only fourth house, but that Sun, Ketu are under the influence of Saturn, because Sun is aspecting to Rahu. That Sun is under the influence of Saturn also, and Rahu, importantly Rahu unfavorable side. And Ketu is conjoined with the Mars. Importantly, Mars is forming ruler link to the 2A level and sublord planet. It is talking about Lagna, 6, 12 grouping. So, seventh lord in the star of this planet, it is indicating because of the own business that native can enter into loss also. That also it is not, it is indicated. So that we have to keep it in mind. So now that native, in which period the native entered into business, that we have to check. So that whether Rahu is supportive for that? No, Rahu itself is not strongly favorable for that, because all unfavorable it is indicated. So then we have to check the Jupiter. Jupiter is the next dasa. The Jupiter dasa, if you check, Jupiter is supportive for own business. How? It is supportive for doing own business, but it is not indicating favorable for the own business. How come Jupiter is supportive when compared to Rahu? You can see Jupiter period, which is the favorable key planet for the own business. Of course, the Venus, because 2, 7, 6, 5, 9, 7th cusp of Lord. Jupiter planet is conjoined with Venus in the sign of Venus itself. So Jupiter, 9th lord, 12, 6, and 3 and 7, they are all favorable. Also supportive for some change in the profession. Though he has not changed the profession, as additional business he started doing during that Rahu, Jupiter Dasa supported. Jupiter in the star of that Rahu supported, but it is not supportive. It is all indicating supportive for joint venture, but it is also indicating some sort of struggle on account of that. Sublord also Jupiter, it is also supportive for the same. But sub-sublord, we already discussed, sub-sublord of the planet is Mercury. Mercury is 3, 6, 5, 4, 8, 10, 4, 8, 12 and 10 sublord. It is supportive, and also it is indicating some sort of unfavorable significations. But Mercury planet is important for the business prospect because the Karaka planet for the business, marketing, all the trading and everything. Now, in Jupiter Dasa, which is under the influence of the Venus, strong favorable key planet of the business, that is, sublord also Mercury, that destiny planet. So that is supported for such business prospect. Mercury is conjoined with the moon. Moon is also favorable key planet, Karaka planet for the Venus, Mercury, and Moon are all supportive for the profession connected to the bakery also. Now, during the Jupiter period, Saturn, the own Bugdi will not favor. Saturn Bugdi, Saturn is supported, but star level also supported, but sublord is not favorable. So, during this period also will not favor. So, in Mercury Bugdi, the planet which is favorable for the business, it is not, it's Karaga planet. So that when Mercury started, since it is having 6, 8, 12 also, we need to be very careful that it can lead into trouble. Star level supported, Sun is supportive, and sublord also supportive. So during that period, this Bugdi favored the native for doing the business along with the partnership that already we discussed. So, but as we already discussed, the destiny is holding that unfavorable 5, 6, 8, and 12 grouping because here already having this one, and the star level planet Sun is getting that Rahu in its supports, and 8 and 12 grouping already there, and Sun is having Mars already unfavorable, already we discussed. But it is not having that Rahu in the star level and sub level directly. Because of that, that native supported for that business straight away. You understand? So during that Jupiter Dasa, Mercury Bhukti, sublord is Saturn, Saturn is passing ruling, all supportive, only showing the supportive. During Mercury Bhukti, he started doing the business in which Chantra, which is the favorable key planet for the Mercury, obviously that Saturn. During that Jupiter Dasa, Mercury Bhukti, Saturn Antra, he started the business. Saturn in the star of Sun is favorable, but sublord is weak. So you have to keep it in mind. Jupiter Dasa, Saturn Bhukti, sorry, Jupiter Dasa, just a minute. Let me clear all these things. In Jupiter Dasa, Mercury Bhukti, Jupiter Dasa, Mercury Bhukti, Saturn Antra, he initiated the business because others stood that his friend circle they joined and they started thinking of doing their own bakery. They all in working in the oven only on their own. They wanted to do the joint venture, so they initiated. In Mercury is supported. He initiated the process, and Saturn Antra is also supported to start. Planet and star level up to this level it is fine, but sublord planet is having mixed significations, right? Jupiter Dasa, Mercury Bhukti, Saturn Antra, that he entered into the business in the joint venture. So that business started in say April 2014. As soon as he started the business, Dasa is weak and Bugdi only supportive, but Bugdi also having got weakness within it. And Antra is planet and star level is fine, but sublord, this is unfavorable key planet ruling. Though it is under the influence of Saturn, supported, but 5858 already destiny is already given the green signal for trouble. So as soon as they started the business, initially it was fine, but slowly, within the same 2014 itself, they started facing, slow in the business. So a lot of struggles they started facing. So in, Mercury, Saturn, somehow they balanced. So Mercury, it's over. After Mercury is over, then Ketu was running. Ketu is not bad. Ketu somehow it was supportive, but it is not indicating any strong favorable also. But when during Venus, when the native was running, In Mercury Bugdi, Venus Antra was running. Why Venus? Sorry, not Venus Antra, sorry. In Jupiter Dasa, let me make it clear, sorry. Jupiter Dasa, Mercury Bugdi, Saturn Antra started the job, started the own business. That itself is started with ups and downs. And Jupiter Ketu is nothing good or nothing bad happened. And then Jupiter Venus started. So because when normally business is running, if they have any ups and downs, what they will be thinking always, okay, in the business it is normal, so it will take some time for them to run the business to gain the gain and all. But Mercury Saturn itself initiated with favor and also with the struggles, loss. I mean, a lot of dates involved in the same period because Saturn sublord is not good, Rahu. Then Venus started in Jupiter, Venus. Venus is the seventh lord and seventh sublord planet started. So that planet is talking about the own business. In the star of Mars, Mars is the unfavorable key planet to the Lagna 8, 6, and 12. Mars is conjoined with the Sun. Mars is aspecting to Rahu. So in the Dasa Lord Jupiter, which is the unfavorable key planet? Rahu. That Rahu is aspected by Mars, that is another unfavorable key planet, which is giving trouble to the Lagna. So in Venus, seventh Lord planet is when it is acting as the Bugdi Lord, that Venus itself is conjoined with the Jupiter. In the star of Mars, that Mars is talking about unfavorable to the Lagna. 7 is going to experience this one. Rahu also further supporting. Then 2 level, sub-level planet are having Ketu, they are not detrimental or not much favorable also. But since already that Mercury, when started, Mercury Bugdian and Saturn has given the trouble. So when this period has come, that 7 is going to experience this. Then Ketu, Sun is also under the influence of Rahu, and importantly, Mars is influencing all the levels because Mars is conjoined with the Ketu. So that way, Mars is 1, 8, 4, 6, 2, 6. This is good for the job prospects, but 8 and 12, 8, 6, 12 is not good for the own business prospects. You understand already that the destiny planet itself in the star of Sun is conjoined with the Mars, unfavorable K planet. Mars is influencing this one. So during that Venus period, they close the business with heavy loss. That partnership, seventh sublord planet in the star of your planet, I mean, that end of the partnership, end of the business, and ultimately Lagna faced a lot of struggles and losses. During that, Venus Bugdi itself not strongly supported, but Venus is supported for the business through the supports, right? And the absence of the Ragus not strongly straight away present, it favored. But during Mercury, Saturn is supported for starting the business because of this planet and star level and 2A level grouping, but sublord is not good. So Jupiter is unfavorable star level, this grouping, and Antra Lord also having got weakness, and it is already formed. Destiny is already given the green signal for the trouble. So during that unfavorable period for the Lagna, this one, that Venus for the 7th house, during that Jupiter Dasa, Venus Bugdi, Venus Antra started, they closed the business with a heavy loss. That happened during that September 2015. So business started in April 2014. So that 1 year somehow they balanced, but because gain also there, because Mercury, Saturn, there was gain and also obstacle. So they will, I mean, what normally we'll think, okay, business is like that only. There will be some mixed significations. But after that, Ketu was running. Ketu is neither favorable nor unfavorable strongly, but Ketu under the influence of the Mars, because Mars is the trouble giving planet to the Lagna that is influencing all the levels. and also that Rahu also indirectly connected. So that is all going to give some sort of trouble, but not detrimental. So during Ketu period, they somehow they run without any, much intention to close the business. Somehow wanted to make, but during that when Venus started, then the seventh house is started facing trouble. Seventh house matters are going to experience this one. The Lagna faced ups, loss, and everything. Finally, they could not bear and close the business. One thing you have to be very careful in that. In the previous video promotion, when I was telling about the native, when he was doing that same Jupiter Dasa, Mercury Bugdi, Saturn Antra, he got the promotion. Though he is not very good for the monetary angle, but the position wise, he got the promotion. Because Mercury in the sub of Saturn and Mercury having got good signification with some weakness, but star level Sun is good and Mars also good for the position, everything along with that 1, 8, 8, 12. And that Mercury, Saturn is the key planet supported for that. So because of that 5-8 grouping, 8 and 12 grouping, it did not favor the native for the progress on the monetary angle. But 1, 6, 10, 11, all are present. It is supported for the promotion. Good name and status were there, but monetary angle is not very good. So job is fine. There is no, problem because when 5-8-12 grouping or 6-8-12 grouping running during the job, it will not support for a good gain, but it will not support for the loss also. But when we are talking about the business only, we have to be very careful. Because in the business, this 5-8 grouping, 8 and 12 grouping are talking about the loss. So that the same period, so Jupiter Dasa, Mercury Bhakti, Saturn Antra, which favored the native for the promotion and good name, made him to think about the own business. During that period, he ended into loss. Please understand Jupiter Dasa itself in the star level, sub level, star level, 2 level, and all levels, 5, 8, and 12, supported by Mars, Rahu and Mars are the unfavorable key planets, making the Jupiter unfavorable. So during that Dasa, the Bugdi, which is favoring the business with the favorable key planet, will favor, but the Bugdis, which is under the influence of the Rahu and Mars, will give the trouble. So that is what the Astrolord is already giving the indications. But despite, actually this native consulted me, I want that native not to go for own business, because your 7th sublord and importantly 10th sublord planet is indicating all the unfavorable grouping will be hiddenly present. It will favor for the business, especially Mercury, but it will favor for the problem also. It will lead into loss. So that he did not listen. And also Jupiter Dasa itself is very badly present for the business prospect, but finally ended into loss. So that is the fate, what we can't help it. So that way, that native suffered during this period. And with the help of the EPS table we have studied, the same thing we can also check with the PILT table also, how far that key planets are supportive for the troubles. Let me go to the house grouping table and let us check the PILT. We are on the PILT page now. Let me open that self-significators. So unfavorable K planets, Mars, Rahu, and Mercury. They are mixed. They are not unfavorable. They are mixed, means they are going to give both favorable and unfavorable. So let me open these planets. Let me select this Mercury, Jupiter, and Rahu and Mars. Only 4 planets I have selected. Let us see their impact in the destiny and also the sub periods. You can see destiny planet Mercury. Mercury, when you keep the cursor, you can see the houses. Mercury in the star and 2A level planet are supportive, but all the other planet, the pink shade, Mars, Rahu, Jupiter, Mars, all the rulers are under the influence of this unfavorable grouping also. That we have to keep it in mind. It is self-indicating that destiny is not very strongly favorable for the money involved business prospects. Even we put the money, it will be into trouble. So in the Rahu Dasa, Jupiter Dasa, it is clearly indicating it is all having pink shades with all other planets pinks also present in the supports. It is clearly indicating that, right? So in Rahu Dasa, it is also supportive for own business because of the Jupiter in the sign of Venus. Venus is the favorable key planet. Let me open that significators table also again, so that we can see this. Favorable key planet for own business is a green color planet. Out of that, Venus is very good. Venus. So let me click Venus. Let us check their significations. Which are the planets are having their role of the Venus? That 10th sublord itself having got Venus, and that Dasa Lord Jupiter itself is Rasi Lord is Venus and also conjoined with the Venus. Because of that, this is supported, and Sublord is Mercury is a good planet for the Karaka planet for business. That itself is destiny planet. So the Jupiter is supported, but all these are indicating not good for the gain from the business. During that Mercury Dasa, during that Jupiter Dasa, Mercury Bukti, he started the business in this Saturn. Because Saturn is good, star level Sun is good, 12 level is, they are all good, right? So if you click that planets also, let us see what their significations. Let me select Saturn, green color planet. Saturn, Sun, Moon, Venus. Venus, Sun, and this. So all planets I have selected. So now you can check the that Bugdi Lords, Mercury, Jupiter Dasa is not so good, but Jupiter is supported by the favorable key planet, all green color planets. So those favorable key planets which are influencing the Dasa Lord, that itself is playing role for the Mercury, supported for the own business during its period. But it has got the unfavorable key planets in their supports. Now, within that Bugdi Lord Mercury, which is the favorable key planet, Venus, Saturn, and Sun, they are all favorable. These planets as the Antra, Saturn, Sun, Venus, when they are playing, as the Antra, it's supported. So they are also forming ruler links, so that Sublord is not so good, but supported by the that planet and star level and planets supporting to the Sublord, so favored for the business prospect during that Jupiter Dasa, Mercury Bugdi, Saturn Antra. But Saturn Antra, it is having unfavorable, forming ruler link all levels. It is definitely going to give trouble. So now under Jupiter Dasa, Mercury Bugdi, Saturn Antra started with some mixed signification, plus and minus, business, gain and loss, both were running. And during that Ketu period, Ketu Bugdi, somehow they were running, but without much profit also, because it is having unfavorable Mars in its supports. Mars is a strong unfavorable key planet to the, trouble giving houses to the Lagna and loss giving houses to the Lagna also. During that period, they did not shut the business. But when Venus, because primary cuspal sublord planet, 7th lord and also 7th sublord planet, in the star of your planet, Mars is not good, and this is forming ruler into all levels. So no other way, 7th house is moving towards this unfavorable Mars and sublevel planets. So during that Venus period, the native closed the business, partnership is also closed, and business also closed, with the Lagna experience huge loss. And 5 already present. And because Rahu already there, 5th house, 8th house, 12th house, 6, 8, 12, Lagna entered into a lot of stress and the mental worries and loss, everything. So for the job prospects, it was not supported for the any loss, because in the job there will not be any loss in the money. But in the job, there can be some, because of this unfavorable grouping, that can lead to loss by not loss, but they can indicate the native may not get the desired monetary gain by way of salary or though that can support for the good position, the package or increment may not be to the expected level, but it will not lead to any loss. So loss in the gain, we can say, loss in the money by way of salary, we can say. But in when we are talking about the business, when money that native is going to put into that, so 8,000, 12,000, definitely it is going to make that lagna to face struggles and not supportive for the business prospects. It can lead to loss. When 6,000 also connected, 6, 8, 12 grouping, lagna also connected, lagna is going to face a lot of stress and struggles, and 5, 8 is joining hands. It will lead to trouble on the business and loss of business. When 7th lord and 7th sublord itself in the star of unfavorable key planet, the own business is going to be into trouble. That's what the native experience. I hope you have understood the job prospects and also business prospects. So this example number 3 we discussed on many events. You please kindly go through that. How each event, either getting a job or change in the career, or promotions or transfer, or small minor difference only. But trouble living houses to the lagna 8th house and 12th house are only making that change of the game changer is trouble living houses to the lagna. Along with that 5th house, 8 and 12 are joining hand, or 3rd house, 9th house connected to the favorable, supportive for the change in the in the career and also transfers. And that Rahu mixed significator going to give both the supportive by way of second planet Saturn, and also it is going to give trouble to the lagna. That's what we have experienced. So we'll discuss in the next video. Good luck.